So we all know for a fact that GTA 6 is supposed to be coming out in 2025. For the most part, the game looks very interesting in terms of plot and having two co-main protagonists. Um, like we do know that this game is going to be like on the PlayStation 5. It's most likely going to be on PC and Xbox Series X. But the thing is, there's a lot of uncertainty on whether or not it's going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. We don't have the official name for the Switch 2 because Nintendo might call it something different. But a lot of people are wondering whether or not GTA 6 should be ported for Switch 2. And for the most part, I don't think GTA 6 would stand out on a Nintendo console as much as it would on the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, only because you look at GTA games since the 2000s, they've always remained primarily on PlayStation or Xbox consoles because, for the most part, Rockstar Games is it's a third party video game developer, and the GTA series appeals to a more mature audience with all the violence and the profanity and the adult content and all that stuff and all the controversy that the GTA series has garnered over the past like 2 decades or whatever. And honestly, you look at the Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition that came out a couple of years ago. I believe it was back in 2021. That game had awful reviews, mainly because a lot of licensed music from the old GTA games were absent in that. Also, because the quality of the game was not as good as the original, and I don't even know how that's possible for the most part. But for the most part, Grand Theft Auto doesn't really shine as much on Nintendo consoles. For the most part, first party games like Mario and Zelda and all those other titles, Metroid, they shine more on Nintendo consoles than anything else. I mean, I doubt that GTA 6 would even like be in the top 10 in terms of best selling games if it came out for the Switch 2. And and I do feel that Nintendo is more of a family friendly, children's console for the most part. And and obviously you're most likely going to get an inferior port in terms of graphics and quality and all that stuff if it came out for the Switch 2, because based off of what I've heard, the Switch 2 is supposed to be more powerful than the base PlayStation 4. And as a lot of you guys know, the PlayStation 4 came out like a decade ago. So in terms of quality and resolution, Nintendo is obviously behind the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. But at the same time, you look at like the console wars right now, and it seemed like Microsoft, they might be pulling out of the console wars in the future because there's been a lot of speculation about the Xbox Series X being their final game system, and that Microsoft and Xbox, they plan on turning more towards cloud-based gaming and all that. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not, a port for Switch 2 is necessary for GTA 6. I mean, it would definitely like stand out more, but I'm not exactly sure if people would spend a lot of money to buy an inferior port of GTA 6 on the Switch 2. Plus, I heard the Switch 2 is supposed to be double the price of the original Switch console, and I believe the original Switch console was like 299, so that means the Switch 2 would be like um $400 and 99, no, 499, I believe. And if that's the case, like I don't think people would, spend that kind of money to play a lower resolution version of GTA 6 on Switch 2. So like in theory, GTA 6 on Switch 2 sounds cool. In practice, I don't think it's going to do too well in terms of sales overall.